In today's video, I'm going to show you how to install the Hudl Sideline Endzone cam. Now this is our Hudl box right here, and inside this houses the antenna, the battery pack, and this streaming kit right here. And the cable I'm holding on to right now is an HDMI cable attached to a 20-foot cable that goes up to the top plate. And you'll see it right up here. The HDMI goes on this mounting plate, and on the mounting plate there are two smaller micro HDMI cables attached that plug into the video camera, which also sits on that mounting plate as well. There's also a clip right here that secures the 20-foot cable to the telescopic pole when you raise it. This 20-foot cable also has this red tip control cable that attaches to the control arm as well. Now this control arm is what you're going to use to zoom in and out and go left and right. The T is for zooming, the W is for wide angle or zooming out. Now up here is the monitor, and the monitor arm is shown right here. It needs to go above that yellow piece of tape, and it also needs to go above the rope tension mount shown right here. Both of them will go above the yellow piece of tape so that it will swivel. These two clips hanging out of the rope tension mount that are coiled up inside the barrel simply clip onto the pulley ropes coming down from the top plate. Make sure the rope stays inside the pulley for smooth operation for the camera. Next, we want to power up the monitor with the monitor power cable that will plug into the power pack with the USB end right here. And on the other side of the power cable, we plug it into the monitor right here. So now we have the power pack, which is Velcroed to the back of the monitor, the USB power cord from the power pack to the monitor, and now we also have this HDMI cable with the orange clip on it, and that HDMI cable comes out of the Hudl box sitting on the ground. And when you're finished, it comes off and is stored in this little container right there, coiled up. Right here is the camera mount plate, which is connected to the 20-foot cable that we talked about earlier with the micro HDMI cables hanging from it. It is attached to the top pulley plate with this gold thumb screw from underneath. And remember, one of the 20-foot cable ends goes into this streaming kit, HDMI-N, and the other one goes down to the control arm pictured right here. Now let's power on the camera by opening the monitor shown here, and you'll notice the battery is fully charged in the monitor there. This battery will only last about a half hour for the camera, so what we need to do is use an external power source shown right here. We have a little 2-foot USB cable. One side is here, the other side plugs into the external power source, and the cord plugs into the camera USB cord that's dangling from the camera here. And after you plug that USB cable into the external power pack, you'll see that the battery signal went away in the monitor, which means the camera is being powered by the external battery. Let's open up the lens and we should have a picture on the screen now. And we do. Now we're going to turn the power onto the Hudl streaming kit by turning this little button here on the battery pack. And now we're going to plug in the little micro HDMI cables to the camera itself, one on each side. Keep in mind the two micro cable ends are different and they'll only plug in their corresponding side, so you won't get them mixed up. So now we're getting a picture on the camera screen and a picture on the monitor here. This antenna cable is an Ethernet cable plugged into the streaming kit, and it comes up to the antenna box right here. It's connected by this mount on the back and stays all in one piece when you put it away inside the Hudl box. You want to face the antenna towards our sideline, and there'll be another antenna up on the press box on top. And that antenna up there will help form our mesh network between the Endzone camera, the press box camera, and the sideline. Now that we have everything plugged in and we have the monitors working, it's time to raise the telescopic poles. We're going to do it one at a time, starting with the top one. You don't want to raise the poles until everything is connected, turned on, and working properly. After you raise the first pole, you want to make sure it's velcroed at the bottom of the pole. Make sure your strings are in the rope pulley correctly and coming out so that they do not get tangled up as you lift the poles one by one. After you get it up a little ways and secure, you might want to test the ropes and make sure that they're in the pulley system correctly and you're able to move the camera up and down smoothly. After you have all the poles extended, your rope should dangle down to about 3 to 4 feet above the rope tension mount barrel, where your clips will connect to them. This is what it looks like, how the strings should come out of the bottom of the barrel. One should go up, one should come underneath, and then go up the other side, just like this. And now you want to check the monitor and see what the camera angle looks like. And right now it looks like the camera's up too high, so we're going to adjust that by taking one of the strings and we're going to pull that down, that right string, down to where it looks right on the field. And when we get it about right, we're going to adjust the gold tension nut on the bottom of the barrel so that it is tight and that camera angle stays where it's supposed to be. And now you want to use the control arm to adjust the picture by zooming all the way out by using the W and get a nice picture of the field. You can use the control arm to move the camera left and right. Sometimes you'll have to set up on the right hash, sometimes the left hash, and sometimes right down the middle. We use this mainly for the offensive and defensive linemen. So we stay kind of in between the hashes when we're running this Endzone cam. You can now adjust the tension of the control arm moving up and down by adjusting the rope tension mount side piece. You can tighten it or loosen it, and that'll help you move the camera up and down more easily, making sure that it doesn't slip. You might have to adjust that a few times during the game. Now let the game begin because you are ready.